Hello, welcome back to the Mobile Motorbike Mechanic channel. I'm Steve. Today we're heading down to the Cotswolds where we're going to do a complete suspension overhaul on a VFR 800. So we've got a brand new shock to put in the back and we've got to do front fork seals. So we'll see you when we get there. Right folks, here we are, VFR 800. So what we're going to do is we're going to fit a brand new YSS shock onto this one, and we're also going to do the fork seals. So we'll get on with this one now. There we go. Pop the seat off. Alright, so to get the shock out, what we need to do, there we go. Yeah, so to get the shock out, what we need to do is we need to undo the bottom mounting bolt, which is just here behind the chain. So that's the bottom mount bolt, and then we need to undo the top mount bolt, which is, well, you can't really see it, but it's up in the under here under the tank. So what we'll do is we'll get those two bolts removed. Yeah, we'll get those two bolts removed, and then the whole thing should just whip out. And that's Winston. Hey Winston. What you doing, Nobed? Hello. Oh, hello. Oh. Yeah. Right. Let's get on with work. Stop playing with the cat. There we go. I'm just trying to find the top shock mount. There it is. So this is your top shock mount just here, one with a bit of white paint on it. So that's the top shock mount. So that's the one we're going to undo, and that will just drop the whole lot out the bottom, and then we can get rid of it. So it's pretty tight quarters in here, but you should be able to get it. There we go. He's tight. Very tight. There we go. Going steady so we don't clout any bodywork or anything like that. See if we can get in there with a little ratchet now. Now this top is going to be under tension because the whole weight of the bike is on that. So as it goes down, you can expect the rear wheel to actually start dropping. Luckily on this bike we've got a centre stand, so we haven't had to put it on a stand of any description. Normally we'd put it on an ABBA stand or something like that, but we've got the centre stand, so we're all good on this one. So we'll just get this one out. So now we've loosened that top mount off. It's dropped the top mount bolt hole just enough so we can get in with this 3/8 onto the actual nut itself, onto the actual bolt itself. So now we can start to undo the bolt, the top shock mount bolt. So this is your top shock bolt, looking from the right hand side of the bike. There you go, that's it, coming undone. Now let's get a magnet on a stick and see if we can hold it. There we go. Ta-da! One top shock mount bolt. So now we need to remove the actual bolt from this side of the bike. Not very easy to film. Sorry about that, folks. But there's your top shock mount bolt. Right, so now we just need to undo the bottom shock mount bolt. But if I just grab this back wheel, you can see the whole thing's loose. So we know we're getting somewhere. Right, let's get this one done. So basically same as the top one, we're just going to undo the bottom one, crack it loose, hopefully not literally. We'll pop round, get this on the other one. There we go. That should be that one undone, he says. There we go. Boom. So that's the lower shock bolt out. So that shock absorber now is completely free in there. Now we just need to get it out. So totally loose. So now we just got to get that out of there. Easier said than done. Right, let's get the back wheel off. Because once the back wheel is off, that will drop down further. And that will give us a bit more room to play with. We've removed the back wheel. And we've removed the little triangle off the bottom of the shock here. So when you remove these, remember which way around they are, because all of these distances are critical. So what I've done is I've marked it up. I've marked where the top is, which direction it is, and which one's the left and which one's the right. And I'm going to leave that bottom bolt in, and I know that bottom bolt went through the dog bone here. So now, with that out of the way, we can pull the old shock out. So that's out. I'll go get the new one. Okay, so this is the new YSS shock that the customers bought, and as you can see, it's a little bit newer, shall we say. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to check to see. Yeah, they all look about the right. That one came out that way. So fat bit at the bottom, thin bit at the top. So we're going to put this one back in the same, fat bit at the bottom, thin bit at the top. When we fit it, we'll also fit it so this pins to the rear, just in case you ever need to access that whilst it's in the bike. Probably won't, but just in case. But we'll fit that to the rear. Other than that, should go straight back in again. Oh, wish us luck. Right, let's see if it'll go. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. So now all we need to do is get all the bolts back in again, in the right holes, and tighten everything down. Okay, that's all the bolts back in. So now we just need to tighten them all up. Bloody spanner off. There we are. Right. So we just got to do that top mount back up again and we're finished. There we go. Right, now we just got to put the back wheel on. Okay, so that's the rear shock replaced. I've tightened everything up for the new shock. Back wheel's back on again. Everything's in its place. So we'll consign that one to the bin and we'll start on the forks. Okay, we'll start off by we've got to remove the wheel, got to remove the brakes, got to remove the front guard, and then we'll drop the forks out. 5mm. Nope, 4mm. It must be aftermarket then. Baggy 4mm as well. Ah, it's an aftermarket kit. By the look of it, it is. Right. What do we need for front brakes on these? These are weird front brakes because you've got this secondary master cylinder for the linked brakes. So we've got to take these two pins out and take the whole assembly off. Which are 8mm Allen bolts. Very unusual brake setup on these bikes with the linked brakes. There we go. Conventional 12mm over the other side. hard time with it. There we go. So all the brakes released. Should, yes, there you go. Wheel spindle is loose. So we'll just support the front of the bike on a little block of wood, make sure it doesn't go anywhere. There we go. Front wheels out. Lovely job. Put that all together so we don't lose any of the spacers. Oh, take it over here and get rid of it. Oh, let's get these clip-ons undone. You might have noticed, well, you might have not noticed, this bike's got bar risers fitted. So bar risers, for those that don't know, are little additions. These little caps here, you see, it's like a little cap that sits on top of your fork, and that's what the clip-on attaches to. And then there we go, and then that's the actual bar riser itself. So it just brings the bars up closer to the rider, make life a bit more comfortable. So you see, it just indexes into the top yoke, and then the clip-on indexes into it. So we'll have to remember to put those back on again when we come to refit the refit everything. But I'm just going to get a couple of cloths just to protect the fairing whilst we put the controls on the fairing. It's all a bit tight in there. Right, there's the bar risers off. So I'm just going to take a measurement from the top of the top yoke to the top of the fork, so we know what distance to put these back in. Okay. Right, that's 40 mil. Yeah, so 40 millimeters to the top of the fork. Remember that one. And before we go any further, we'll just slacken these two top nuts off. There we go. Just saves us the pain of trying to undo those later when they're not actually fitted to the bike. And trust me, it is a pain if you forget to do that bit. It's actually probably quicker just to put them back in the bike to undo them. It's definitely easier, don't know about quicker. Okay, top yoke undone, so we've just got to do the bottom yoke. Bottom yoke bolts are up under here. Lots of other stuff in the way under here, so it's difficult to see. Right, one fork coming out hopefully. There we go. Right. Seal's not looking too bad. Stanchion is definitely pitted, but the seals aren't looking too bad. But customer wants them changed, so we'll get them changed. There we are. Again, not too bad, starting to break up, but we'll get them changed. So these forks are the right way up forks, conventional forks. So we've just popped the dust seal off, just to have a look. And actually, it looks like there's weeping a tiny little bit, but actually looking pretty good. But all we're going to do is just pop the cap off, drain them down. There we go. Yeah, so pop the cap, we'll drain them down, get the new seals in, get them refitted. There's pretty clean oil in there actually, looks pretty good. There we go. Yeah, so that's, if you come and have a look at this dust seal closely, you can see it's just starting to split on the ends. So good sign that the seals are very tired. Doesn't look like they've started leaking yet, but definitely worth doing. Full court, yeah, I could stay at that one. It's much darker. So that suggests to me that leg's had its seal replaced sometime recently compared with this one. Now you can see the tighter spiral foot spring on the bottom here. So remember which way it comes out, tight to the bottom, loose to the top. Alright, so just had a little reorganisation here. Tidied a few bits up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to ping out the retaining clip. Hey, there he goes. Hopefully. And now what we've got to do is we've got to invert the fork leg, take the bolt out of the bottom, and then separate it out to get the fork seal out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff a rag in the end, to hopefully stop any fork oil going all over the place. Whilst we undo this bolt here. It's like a 6mm, which it is. There we go. Easy when you've got the right tool. That's the bolt out the end gone. And this is where you need plenty of rags. Because now you've got two open ends of an oily thing. If you just chuck a rag in the bottom there like that, that will soak all that lot up. Hear all that? A whole lot more oil coming out. There you go. There's a whole lot more oil coming out. Just trying to get all the oil out of that one so it doesn't drip constantly everywhere. There we go. Right. Yeah. Right. Now we can attack this one. See if we can get the fork seal out. There we go. So we got everything cleaned, everything laid out nice and neatly. So we're ready to put the new fork seal on. So what we'll do is we'll start reassembling the new fork seal. Nice and steady away on this one. Just to get him. You can see the line where the seal's wiping, so that's good. Yeah, still wiping nice and clean. Right, that's that done. So, oh bloody hell, that's tight. Nice. So that's the seal set down inside. Pop the seal retaining clip in place. Get him in. Get a little pick to just pop him in with. Right. That's the seal in. So we'll rebuild the fork. There we go. Nice new dust seal. And then the little fork guard thing. Protector. Right, that's that one done. All we need to do is fill it with oil, get it back on the bike. So that's both forks now with fluid in them. Damper rods are bled, so they're all good to go. So we'll get them back in again, get them fitted. A little bit of a trick for new players: when you come to put your fork leg back in again, you need to make sure which side all of your control wires and cables and everything are going. So as you can see down here, these all make a nice natural arc, so you know you've got to come up with your fork leg that side of these control wires. So just something to be aware of. There we go. Right. 40 millimeters. Whoa. And this fork leg's a little bit slippery, so it's moved quite a bit whilst we were sorting ourselves out. Hey, see, it's been a bit of a bugger, this one. It's gonna be a pain. We'll get there. I'll have some patience. Yeah. Hang on, 40 mil. All good. There we go. Right. Let's go and do the bar risers. So bar risers can go on anywhere really, but when you hear them click into place, that's where you want them. Just nipping the fork caps up here before we refit the risers. That's it. Doesn't take a lot, just a nip. And you see the big sort of tang there locates into that hole. Same again with that one. And what I'll do is I'll just push them all the way forward. Yeah, they clash with the frame, with the fairing, so we'll bring them all the way back again. There you go. So all the way back. They don't hit the tank and they don't hit the fairing. So that's how we'll fit them. I'll put the caps in before doing these bolts up. Direction. So we're happy that we're going in the right direction. Let's get this front mudguard secured now. Two very different bolts on these as well, so make sure you put the right bolt in the right hole. You can't really put the wrong bolt in the right hole, but I'm sure somebody out there has tried. So we just need to pump up the front brakes. Is that a stone underneath the front wheel? Yes. Okay, they're operating as they should, which is good. So just need to kick out the wooden block. There we go. And that's that complete. Right folks, so that's it for this one. We've fitted the new YSS rear shock, replaced both fork seals, and we've also done all brand new fresh fork oil on this one. So remember to like, comment and subscribe. We do read the comments, and thank you ever so much for all the subscribers so far. We're quite blown away by it all, really. So literally blown away. So yeah, remember to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you again on the next video.